Oh shit. Here we go again.
Hello and welcome out to this episode of Outbreak Gamers. I'm your host, David Anthony. WEBDAVE is my gamer tag, and I'm here with the one and only Gaz. Buddy, welcome.
Dave! Hi. Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
Oh, man. I have, I'm telling you, I mean, I've done a few of these interviews now, and a few people I'm like, a little nervous about. I'm absolutely ecstatic to interview you today, man. Because you are a
bad
fascinating
idea. The person you should be nervous about is me on here. Cancel.
So back to the Maury Povich interview. Just kidding. Just kidding. We won't do that to you.
I'm ready.
Oh, goodness. Get the scroll started there at the bottom. All right, cool, man. Well, anyway, first, thank you so much for being here. And I know it's not as late as you usually do some of your shows, but it is in the evening there where you're at, and I do appreciate your time. So thank you, first of all, for this.
Thank you for doing it at a humane hour and accommodating me. So thank you. I've not been sleeping much, so this goes a long way in helping. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, good deal. Now, I told my boss, I'm like, I'm taking a couple hours of sick. I got an important interview, and she's like, okay.
Oh, so wow, you had to do that? Oh, I'm sorry you had to do that.
No, please. No. This is all good. Trust me. That's
okay.
I don't use my sick time. I work from home. So it's like, even if I'm like sick, usually I can just plow right through. But this way I'm not distracted by work.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's all good. It's all good. Trust me, they get enough work out of me. Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm like I said, glad to have you here. And I guess to start off, let's see kind of like what we talked about a time difference. So where are you from? Where you were located at now, I should say.
In London. That's where I'm at now.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So that's where you're broadcasting from, I should say, and working, yes. I guess. Cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So I guess to get things started, I kind of like to, because some people don't necessarily know. You hear some things when you listen to interviews and you listen to people talk and discuss about gaming and stuff, and every now and again they'll throw in something not necessarily personal, but like something like like about them. And I think it's kind of fascinating to just find out a little bit more about the one of the content creators that are out there. And like I said, I really enjoy the content and the sauce that you bring to it. So you like I did that, didn't you? I do like it a lot, and I think that you're a really big asset to the community. But I'd like to kind of know about maybe how you got kind of, I guess, how you started. Like as far as let me rewind that even more. Like what was some of the first jobs or education that you started out with?
In life, like just first
job?
In
life.
First job. Well,
we digging way back, huh?
Yeah, way back. Like when I was at uni, my first job, part-time job, was a retail job. I worked at a pharmacy, but working at the retail shop for about 5 years. Ended up doing that. I hated it. It was hell. But at the same time, I was a fun employee, but terrible. But it's one of those things, you needed the money to do things. I did that for best part of 5 years, maybe a bit longer. I don't know. But since I was at uni, I was studying law, doing my undergrad. Then I did a master's in law. And then in order to become a lawyer, you need to do something called the legal practice course. I did that. So just back-to-back studies, undergrad, masters, LPC, and through that to support myself with whatever little minimum wage I was getting. I did retail for 5 years, and then people don't know much about the part. I qualified in 2008, not as a lawyer. That's when I completed my legal practice course that enables me to become a lawyer. But that was the market crash. So it was all hell on earth. And in order to become a lawyer, you need to do a training contract, which requires 2 years of actual training, except training contracts were like gold dust. It was like unheard of. You had a surplus of all these students. And I would say from all my years of my undergrad and masters and all the people that I know have studied, about a handful became lawyers because it was that hard. Everyone had a career change. Couldn't find training contracts. But yeah, It was a tough grind, man. Like I worked for a year for free. Then I was getting screwed over, getting paid like less than minimum. I was getting paid for 2 days, but I was actually working for 5. That happened for years, man. So I was broke a lot of time, but I still made whatever little money I had on gaming. I had a GameOnDaily, was something I created. It was like a blog site. Had a team doing videos which are crazy that I can't even put up right now. It's just bad language and all sorts. But it was fun. And yeah, then I qualified as a lawyer. Thank God. And then just grinded my way through law firms. And here I am. Everyone says, I can't believe this guy, when they watch my videos, is a lawyer. And like people at work, they know what I do, and they're like, that's not even as crazy as you are at work. So take the fact that what you see on screen is pretty timid compared to
the real life Gaz, huh?
Real life Gaz is a bit messy. I acknowledge my madness. I'm a crazy person.
But that's okay, man. That's it's part of your personality. That I tell you, it's very attractive as far as somebody, when you're trying to watch the content and stuff you put out. It's like, because sometimes you never know when Gaz is going to turn on a dime.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a bit about madness, and I'll just lose it. So
yeah. Well, I know, like I guess on Twitter, you had like a photo. I guess when you were like 4 or 5 years ago, and you were like a really nice dress suit and everything.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that picture you put up?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, he had a suit and a tie, and behind it like an office, kind of thing, and and then you were talking about, now it's kind of work from home kind of thing for a while, and then you're all like kicked back and comfortable, and you still had to do the same grind.
The suit was always a straight jacket to me. I felt like you get used to it, you get comfortable in it, but still uncomfortable, and I was still the same person. It's like they're I don't know, in the legal field and the professional field, there's so many people who rate themselves because of what their job or position is, and I don't treat anyone any differently. Why should I? If you peel it back, it's like I've had the benefit of strict Asian parents who sacrificed everything to give me everything. Yeah, I'm grateful for that. I've not been the easiest child to deal with. I've been pretty naughty in school. I was blessed with some brains, but at the same time, I don't know, that whole suit thing, and a lot of people take it on board, get it to their head. Even in the content creation space, you get a minor amigo following, and you think like you're better than someone else, and that kind of stuff. All of that, I always to me, it's just part of this weird cultural thing where people put other people down. I know it's not that deep for some people, but for me, it's always been like, just calm down, relax. My clients, I think, prefer it when we dress down. When they see you dress down, they're like, they can relax a bit, because they're like, well, on the phone, I sound like a really bitter old man. When they see me, like, what? You're so young. I'm not that young, but they're like, whoa, you didn't expect you to be, you're not wearing a suit? Yeah, actually, yesterday, I had a meeting with a client, and the client goes, wow, I thought you'd be wearing a suit when they came into my office. I was like, you pay me for my brains, not for what I wear. And you're like, spot on. Don't get. So there's a contrast there, and some people like it. I have some very nice suits, but I think it's just weird. COVID has been bad for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. I've lost loved ones to COVID, but generally, it has also redressed the work-life balance. Working from home, massive thing. I get to spend more time with my family and more like just eased off things. I feel people are now more inclined to understand a 4-day work week might be a good thing. I'm a proponent for that balance, irrespective of how harsh I seem to developers in the space. Bonnie Ross, forgive me. But yeah, that comes from that. But yeah, sorry, I went on a tangent there. You have to appreciate my ADHD is quite severe.
And you know what? That's the thing about this. This is a conversational thing. So it's like this is how we kind of get to know you a little better without, like I said, there's no judgment here. This is all about, just
don't judge me, please.
About you. No, anyway, you bastard. No, I'm just kidding. Oh no, dude. Oh man. Sidetrack for real quick. The other day, of course, I was on Boom's show, and panel member for one of his shows, and you wanted to jump in and make a comment about the deal, and he finally got you on, and you thought you were muted by him, and it wasn't. It was him muted, and you were just jumping around. Then you took off on camera for a while. And he's kind of talking and still like. The fuzzy Belvedere was like kept going, which was good, and we were all dying laughing because you kept running back and forth. You stuck your foot up there and stuff, and then finally you showed up, and then you were doing the beep thing, and then you just were gone. And we were like, "Okay, is he all right?" We were all like, texting later, "Gaz, you all right?" It was so funny. It was absolutely brilliant. So
my bout of comedy is I understand that you either love it or you hate it. It's very immature. Like I've always said it. Comedians are like Dave Chappelle is my number one. And then I've also got vibes like Eric Andre. I think he's so clever with the Eric Andre show. What he did when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, this guy's a genius. So when I wanted Design Go Live, actually that was my inspiration to do a live show. Sorry, a pre-recorded show like in a set. And that's my dream. Like. This is my passion, and I'm grateful. So many people I know, 90% of people I know who function in the space don't ever find their passion. For me, this is it. And people have been like, wait, you guys just popped out nowhere a year ago. Like, just like there, Go Live was there, me and you and Asa were there. But I've been there in the background for ages and did some things, but weren't noticed, had bout of ex-girlfriends that just took away my time and then never did anything. But this was my spirit. This was it. And sometimes it'll be overboard. Some people won't appreciate it. There's a lot of content creators in the space, like some you will know, that don't like my brand of what I do or how I do it. And that's fine. But then there's others who you get to see the jealousy and then the misplaced superiority complex. I don't have time for pandering to people now. I feel like one of my most mentally refreshing things for me is just not to fake things anymore. I never did it but everyone does it as part of social strictures. You do it as custom, be nice and all that. I don't if I know for the few handful of people who do like my content or they enjoy it, subscribe, they'll switch like this. They can switch like this over something I will say. They don't agree with it. They won't even be interested in a dialogue about it. So I'm under no impressions about any kind of following or the people, the support. I don't have much faith in people like that. So I'm maybe like the nice, funny source guy there. And then I might make a source video that might be really divisive. I don't know, politically, not even politically, but something like that, tonally. And people might switch because in my opinion, most people are idiots. And that doesn't come across as a superiority complex of mine. It's just an observation from what are you doing? You guys just follow each other all the time. But did you stop and think, or were you accusatory? Did you actually consider the intention? Lots of things like that. A lot of people think the source and the characters are the satire I play are satirical, but a lot of it is you have to be bold enough to do it unhindered. And the cost of that is you may end up burning yourself in the future. And I'll keep doing that. And that's the only thing I don't see many people in the space do, where I feel I have a massive advantage. I don't give a shit about Xbox, Microsoft. I know Phil Spencer watched it. Huggy,
Yeah.
you interviewed and had a great interview with him last week.
Thank
You
you.
met Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer saying, "Hey, I was watching your show yesterday." You to Huggy, he was watching his game on daily. Massively, grateful for that. Like, wow, that's cool. At the same time, I'm not going to be pandering to anyone, and I know a lot of people who are seasoned in this space who do pander, who then do give speeches to other people on how to behave, who think their articles, reviews, their conduct is appropriate. Gatekeep discourse. The moment you do that, for me, you're on my target. Because you fooled me at the beginning. That's the thing. GameOnDaily is a news aggregation platform run by me and Asa. And I think in many ways, because our two competing personalities balance each other out, one thing that's resolute between us two is we do sit down and care and say, look, the ethics of it all, as funny as it sounds, the ethics of it all.
Well, no, that's not funny at all. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, it shows through in a lot of the content that you guys put out is, and like you said, the balance, the yin and the yang is kind of is really what makes, I think, GameOnDaily work so well, is that you guys do have a balance, you know.
Yeah.
And even though sometimes he may set back and be a little quiet or let you ramble on type thing, if he has a point to make, he's gonna make it before the show's over. You know, he's gonna get his side out there
incredibly well. He's always
usually
very profound in the way he thinks. He thinks objectively, and he's raw as well. People don't realize that. He's a pretty raw guy.
yeah, and you know, and that's also the other show that you recently started collaborating with, Cold Eastwood's XNC. I mean, that, like you're talking about the be nice.
Be nice.
You have to have a shirt on. But I'll tell everybody, I did order a sauce shirt, and I was hoping to have it in.
Welcome to the family.
But it'll be here tomorrow. Okay, I'll post
Teespring.
it on Twitch.
I'm sorry, I don't control them.
No, I know. I'm just playing. No. It's not it at all. I should have ordered it sooner, right? There you go.
That's all good, man. I'm grateful you did.
No, man. Like I said, I like supporting content. You know, the people whose content I really enjoy and appreciate, and yours is definitely one of them. Well, you know, and with you being on, you know, multiple shows, and then you also guesting on other shows as well. I mean, I know with your work and everything you have to do, sometimes it seems like you know, you may get pulled a little thin, but from a person who enjoys watching the content you put out, thank you. Do you know what I'm saying?
But there's no thanks. The thanks is from me, man. Don't be silly, man. Who am I to be interviewed? I find it weird. I find it great. I'm honored. I'm like humbled.
Well,
but my attitude is, who am I to be interviewed? Like, what have I done in the content creator space? I guess just to get to know, like friends. I understand, but I don't think above myself. You don't see me go, thank you for the 50,000 followers. I mean, people do that all the time. Everyone does it. I don't do it because I'm just like, nah, I'm not gonna clap my own back.
Here you go, guys. Let me throw this up now. Yeah. So the bottom of the scroll, just so you know,
we are trying to get 1K subs. That's dyslexia.
It is. I'm dyslexic. So.
Are you okay?
I really am. No. It's okay.
This is what happens when my big mouth just jokes.
Dude. I was obviously it's a consider a birthday. Okay, I'm like no, but
I know people who have dyslexia as well, bro. I'm ADHD. Exactly. It's all good. I
didn't know that I had dyslexia until I was a junior in high school. So if you could imagine, oh Lord, you know, and here you are.
I just got awkward real quick.
No, not at all. Well, you get back. Too funny. But you know, there's something somebody didn't know about me. There you go. All right, but yeah, no. The point was that that you know, your content, like I said, it's I don't know, it's engaging is really the way it is. So so I guess to kind of we're gonna come back to some more about your shows and things that you do. But I wanna let's get this a little bit into, you know, how did you get into gaming? What was your first experience with gaming? Was it like a console, PC, arcade?
It was console. I saw my cousins play, and I still to this day don't know what game it was. Like maybe on an Atari wooden thing, and there was like one barely like 5 sprites character going through these leaves in a river.
Could have been one of these.
It could be Atari. Ah, nice hat. I just clocked that now. I couldn't believe it. I was just mesmerized. I still remember that moment, and I was very, very young, and all my cousins crowded around it. I'm desperate to play it, and I was just like, I want to play, but I was just like, I couldn't stop thinking of what that was. I had to leave my cousin's place. Eventually, I got into I lived in Pakistan. I was born there, and I studied there at primary school. And my first console was a Sega Mega Drive. My first game was a 3-in-1 bootleg, because Pakistan, obviously, everything's going to be bootleg. It was 3-in-1 Mortal Kombat 1.
Cool.
Sunset Riders, which is a 2D platformer cowboy game. Really good, really good. You check it out. If you don't know what Sunset Riders, you go on YouTube, type that. And an Aliens platformer that was really good, but scared me so much.
Oh wow!
It's like these chest bursters would kill you, and it was just scary. But Mortal Kombat 1 was my first game that I got to play. And then had a whole my neighbor who was American, actually. So before 9/11, before everyone thought Muslims were terrorists, a lot of the world was very different, and we had a massive, and Pakistan was very different, and we had a massive expat community of Americans everywhere. But I went to Karachi American school, so one of the best schools, and I used to in a city called Karachi was where I was studying, and there's loads of Americans. So I kind of grew up with Americans. I understood the culture, the language, the languages. Everyone in Pakistan speaks English pretty much, but it was just, I was sunk into American culture very early on, because my neighbor next door was American. His mum married a Pakistani person, but they were American, and he had a Nintendo, and I was console warring from day one. I was like, Sega's better. People don't know this, right? But the console wars were real back then. Sega came in and really uppercutted Nintendo. And then I remember buying a magazine. I used to love gaming magazines, man. That if I could find one of these, I would easily pay £100 for one of these old magazines, the same ones that I read. And I remember there was one where Sonic and Mario were doing what's it called? What are we doing?
Arm wrestling.
That's it. I'm a moron. Arm wrestling, and oh man, there was console warring right from the start. I was console warring with him. Then I got the Nintendo, then the Super Nintendo, and I'm like, wow. I realized early on that despite my allegiances and Sonic versus Mario, that didn't work out. Poor Sega. I loved the gaming experiences that I enjoyed on both platforms were amazing. And then since then, I've pretty much owned everything apart from the 3DO and everything else. And Game Gear, I didn't have that. I really wanted one. But yeah, since then, I've owned everything.
The batteries only lasted about 15, 20 minutes in those things.
I remember that.
If you had the cord, you could keep it plugged in, you were okay.
Yeah, I remember a kid because I was in Pakistan in some event, like a family event, and some kid had it. I'm like, oh my god, he's playing Sonic portably. Yeah. He looks so good. And his battery died. I was like, oh damn it. Your value as a human being is gone to me now. Find some batteries.
That's so funny. Oh man. But yeah, no, there was a lot of great, consoles out there, a lot of great, handhelds and devices and stuff. And Sega really, definitely made they made an impact. I remember Sega does what Nintendo don't, and there's some of those slogans that they had.
I was alien to me. I didn't see those slogans because I was in Pakistan those few years.
Right.
The media was nowhere near as developed. Yeah.
Right. Now, so I guess where did you go with consoles from there? I guess as you were growing older, what piqued your interest?
It's really weird because I remember. So we moved to UK. We moved to London when I was about 11, 13 years old or something like that. like about 11 years old, I think, when I moved to London, and we were in Dubai airport, and my dad bought me the PlayStation 1, and I was just like, oh, yes, Dad. Like he was as a gift. Like we were wondering. I didn't know anything about the PlayStation that much. I read it in a magazine, said it's a good console. I didn't even know about the Nintendo 64. You have to understand the media and magazines, they were old, and that's what I relied on. There's no internet, so like not like that. So I bought it in Dubai airport, and I had the back of the box, and you had all these little tiles of games, the pictures, and it's just stare at that for, I would say, hours upon hours, because I couldn't afford that many games. We got to London with my PlayStation 1, and then I had some problems with the SCART lead, long story. I didn't know how to work it. But my cousin had and we moved in with my cousins, and they had the Nintendo 64, and just shocked.
Yeah.
Super Mario 64 just shattered my universe. Like, what? Just shocked. We were stuck. We were addicted. We were hooked. It was just like gone. I was like, what is this? This is the next step. It's 3D. Look at the graphics. I still remember coming out the first level in the, outside the castle, like the camera, the cloud, toad thing, whatever, turtle thing as the camera. I was just like,
right.
What is that? It was just like incredible. The Nintendo 64 was amazing. When my cousins moved away, they took away the Nintendo. Kind of sad. And other games as well. Loads of Nintendo games. And then I found the PlayStation. We played Tomb Raider 1 was my first game, and I had an incredible experience. Obviously, it didn't look as good as the Nintendo 64, so I was a bit salty about it. But the Tomb Raider 1, the T-Rex level, will still... I remember playing it, the T-Rex came, and I shut the console, fell asleep, took a little like evening nap. That's what we do, a lot of siestas. And I dreamt and had a nightmare of the level shaking and the T-Rex coming to kill me. And I got up and just carried on playing. Oh, beautiful game, man. The Tomb Raider 1, like the levels got crazier. You went into some gooey meat fest level. It was weird, but couldn't afford that many games because games were really expensive for us until we went to Pakistan and realized you can chip your PlayStation and get pirated games. And luckily, thanks to piracy, thank you, piracy, thank you. As co-owner of GameOnDaily, I thank piracy. I know. I mean, yeah, look, I would have not been able to experience all those games without piracy. I would have. I had a choice. Either play 2 or 3 games. Final Fantasy VII, I looked at the postcard for years. Sony sent it to me, and the newsletter sent it out, a letter, and I was just looking at this postcard of Final Fantasy for years, like ages. Oh, this game looks so good. Obviously, they put the CGI cutscene screenshots on the postcard, not the actual gameplay. Looks really different, but still, I dreamt about playing that to this day. That I never got to play it. Even when I chipped it, I just never managed to find Final Fantasy, and that's where Game Pass is so close to what that experience I had. Yeah, that's why I really rep Game Pass. Not like Paris Lily is just like the best value in gaming. It's like, stop shilling. But genuinely, there were comparables with that piracy of games, because I used to have this wallet of games like book, and it opened up so many gaming experiences, man. And I really genuinely am grateful for piracy, because I experienced so many random games like Xena Warrior Princess. That was a good game. Like, people did Vigilante 8, 1 and 2, Second Offense. Oh, there are so many good PlayStation 1 games. You even had SmackDown versus Raw, the wrestling games. You had WWE Warzone, WF Warzone on Nintendo 64, GoldenEye. When GoldenEye came, that just ruined our lives, man. It was amazing. Ocarina of Time. I think in my top 3, I'll be like, it's there. Crazy. So there's so much to talk about without people won't be interested. But it was like, there's so much. And then I also jumped into PC gaming. So we had a PC that could run OpenGL, and I discovered Quake 3.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, Quake 3. I never got good internet. I had like 999 ping all the time. But I fell in love with Quake 3, man. I made my friend so hooked on the friend who's wedding I instantly went to a couple of weeks ago in Malta. But I went to his wedding, and in the wedding speech, his mom talked about how he got expelled in school, and that was because of me, because I gave him Quake. I went to school. I got expelled from one of the schools. I was a pretty bad kid, and then I got to this new school, and the first thing I do, because I'm a weird, I had all these burned CDs of Quake 3 on multiple versions. I had a CD rewrite. I think that's how I got it. Met these guys in the common room. It was just like our version of college. And they were on the foosball machine. That's how I met my friend whose wedding I went. I was like, yo, guys, you guys play games? They're like, yeah. Look, man, just look. Here's Quake. Just come on online. We'll play together. Look, I'm giving you the game for free. Who does that? I find that weird. Like, that's how I met my friends. Like, boom, boom, boom. And they were laughing. Like, man, are you actually just handing out game CDs? And then people crowded round. They were like, oh, shit, well, you're giving away games. It's like, some PC, though. Do you play Quake? It's like, oh, I'll play it. People you would never expect were there. They love gaming. People don't realize people are so different now. Gaming was not seen in the same way it is now. It wasn't mainstream. It wasn't cool to play. Like, people would hide that. I never hid it. I was a gamer through and through. I had friendships forged as a result of gaming. I was advertising gaming. I was just boom. Like, it was for me. It was just the way of life. It was just the coolest thing.
Yeah,
it is the coolest thing. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because there's so much that has advanced, so much that hasn't advanced that I thought would have advanced, and there's so much there. But yeah, I genuinely, like, just for me, this is my passion. My parents hate gaming. They hate it. Like, you're so old, are you still into it? I'm like, no, they've tried to quell the gamer out of me. And it just doesn't work. This is just and I'm grateful for it, but I'm addicted to it. There's not even addiction. It's a passion. So so I'm massively passionate about, played on PC and the PS2. I was massive. Like, oh man, it took ages. When I finally got the PlayStation 2, man, like, it was hard to get it in the UK. There was so much shortage. Then the Xbox was revealed, and I was so salty about the Xbox. I'm like, this stupid console. Why? I've just managed to buy it. It was the PlayStation 2, and then this comes out. Like, I don't want to like it. Look at the ugly machine. Look at that stupid controller. Stupid. My friend's like, it's got 8 GB hard drive. I'm like, oh, what? Why? Why does it have 8 GB? 8 gigabytes. That's a lot. You used to get this stupid memory card. Yeah. Who needs 8 gigabytes? Shit console. I don't need this shit in my life. And then I saw Halo.
Yep.
And it was the same thing as I saw as a kid. Like, I was just that first console. I was shocked. I remember watching the trailer for it. And it was quite late in the day, because this is I think it's some IGN review. They sizzle reel, and then they have the quotes on screen. Best video game ever. That's what this one of the reviews went up with that. I mean, it's not far fetched. Best video game. Oh my god. I can remember watching the gameplay. You could hear the Fat Duke control, and the sticks were like clicky, and the guy was showing you playing that game. You could hear it in the video. Like, it was just here. This is tiny now, but you could hear it. You could hear the click. And I was like, no, I can remember the auditory, like the audiovisual dopamine release as he was like fighting the Covenant. I remember Silent Cartographer looking at, you could see the individual blades across. Yeah. What? And holy shoot, man, that game was beautiful. It was incredible. I fell in love with Halo, and I played it, and it was even more beautiful than I imagined. When a game exceeds your expectations, then it's incredible. Very few games have done that. Metal Gear Solid 1 did that to me, and I was hooked, and I couldn't believe it. I was lost in the world. Ocarina of Time, I didn't know anything about Zelda. So that was the first thing. I read the magazines. This game is mega. All right. I'm in London now, so I get the magazines, so I'm up to date. Halo. I remember looking at Halo's screenshots a few years ago in magazines when it was a Mac game, and the Master Chief had this weird helmet, full face helmet, and a really long sniper rifle weapon. I was like, that looks cool. And back then I was like, whoa, that looks sick, as a kind of design, texture, whatever. And the bit of the world. But the game, sorry. So freaking Halo, man. That game just killed it for me. And I was in love. And, still love the PlayStation 2. And then when the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 came out,
Yeah.
For me, as a person who loved the Dreamcast, and I skipped over that, but loved the Dreamcast, Xbox was like a marriage of both. And the 360 was this first console that was doing online gaming well. So it bridged my gap of PC gamer, played Red Alert 2 ad nauseum, played, Quake and all of these games. And then you've got console gaming and you've got Halo and first person shooters and compare shooters, and boom, they're like in one. People will say, why am I biased towards Xbox? It's because it had those experiences.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
the multiplayer. It still is the multiplayer centric console with the identity tied to first person shooters and Halo. There's nothing. PlayStation doesn't remotely come close with its first party exclusives when it comes to that kind of first person experience. So even Gears of War, like tonally, MP wise, well, PlayStation exclusives don't touch it. Multiplayer wise, they don't. You're going to see a change this gen. Sony look like they are taking multiplayer very seriously. Whole shift in their development. We know live service, whether or not they can do it well, because they had Forsaken. They had some attempts at PlayStation 3 gen, but that didn't do what they did, and they focused on single player, which worked for them last gen. Now they're learning their lessons, because Microsoft was ahead of the curve when it focused on what it did. But Microsoft, being Microsoft, also made a whole litany of mistakes. So yeah, so the back, and here we are in present times, where I was just playing Ghost of Tsushima, just playing everything
beautiful
now.
game.
Beautiful game. My OLED is here, but it's finding it a bit uncomfortable because it's a tiny room. And I just saw the state of play, and I was just like, I need to get back on PlayStation, because it just feels like the old PlayStation 1 vibes were there when I watched that state of play. Then I turned it on, and I hadn't turned my PlayStation on for ages. Ages. It was I had to literally dust off the controller, man. I'm charging it now. It's just like the music and the menu, and I'm like, there's still some magic here. And it's a great console. It's a great console. So like I'm playing on everything. Game Pass, played Metal Hellsing, decent game, not amazing so far, but yeah, it's good. And now I'm playing on everything. And that's the best way. If you're fortunate enough to afford all of these things, gaming is expensive.
It is.
It's getting more expensive. Thanks, PlayStation, you. Then it's beautiful, and I don't shill for Game Pass like everyone else does, but I will recognize the value in it. People like my cousins in Pakistan, the rupee is tanking. They can't afford this stuff. I mean, they can, but it's just Game Pass makes it so much more viable. I hear that from people who view our show all the time. From Brazil, lots of Brazilians watch our show, and the dollar to how it works there doesn't make sense. The pricing is ridiculous. They're priced out. That's what 90% of people are priced out. That's why they play on PC all the time, because they pirate. And I don't hold that against anyone. If you pirate games and you're in that region, not because you're a cheapskate and you're set there, you can actually afford it and you have decent money. But if you pirate games, like Middle East or Asia or wherever, I don't care. I don't care. Like the developers say, well, it's unfair. Well, it would have been unfair. I can't afford it. But I experienced those games. I now have an affinity with you. David Jaffe, I had him on a show a few times. He knows it. I had nothing but reverence and respect for him. Twisted Metal Black, you think I paid full price for that? Paid 50 rupees to some guy, not even 50 rupees, to some guy in Pakistan in a stall, gave it to me. Without him, I would have never had the chance to play Twisted Metal. Never. Would have never had a chance. Now, since then, I bought the Twisted Metal on PlayStation 4. I bought, what was it called? It was all right. It was pretty decent.
Metal Black?
No, Twisted Metal on PlayStation 4. The one,
robot.
Didn't do that well, but it's good. It's a good game. It's a decent game. I preferred Black's tone, but it was good. And now I have so much reverence for him, because Twisted Metal Black, we were hooked, man. That game was amazing. So this is the gaming industry is changing. I like that Microsoft is challenging it. I don't have like a lot of faith in the management sometimes, in the direction and their failures. I come across really harsh, but that's just how I am. That's how my parents are. That's how just a product of that's how I deal with it. That's how my clients like me to be. So I don't bullshit. That's how my clients like, what? It's just stupid thing to do. Why? Here. This is why. Now tell me otherwise. Clients want that. They want someone who's ruthless. Sometimes in business, you have to be like that. Now, you might think this is a pundit. Absolutely. With no gameplay, development, design experience. Absolutely. But I know that if I'm there at 343, I will say, what the hell? To a lot of things. Because our end product made me say, what the hell? To a lot of things. Maybe I'll sympathize. Maybe I'll understand. I'm not close-minded.
Right.
I am open to learning. If you don't learn and admit your mistakes, then you won't grow. But until I am presented with that information, I'll just carry on being, a lot of it. I don't know. I just try and tell you, like, the abrasive nature behind it isn't just to maintain a personality. It isn't just loud and like someone in the space who is a fucking idiot. Calls a shock jockey. I'm like, you have no sincerity in this space. Come to me face to face and experience what real sincerity is. There's so many, and that's the only thing. I'm resolute now more than I ever was. Just keep it real, keep it raw. Yeah. Like one of the things that motivated me was that's an amazing show. I'm not one for platitudes and motivational speeches, but Dr. Dre is a big motivation as well to me, considering what he did. And the Defiant Ones, if you can watch this. It's a documentary, and at the end of it, sometimes I just replay the ending of that 30 seconds of all these incredibly talented, creative people who tell you at the end what it takes. Just from the heart. This is no bullshit. This is what you do. Stop being lazy. Keep it raw. It was Ice Cube who says, keep it raw. Just keep it raw. Be yourself. Be raw. Be yourself. Don't tone it down for anyone. When he started GameOnDaily, I wasn't being raw. Asa was like, we have to be professional. We can't do any of this. And so I was like this.
Yeah.
I was like this. Like, hi. Yeah, the tie was on. The straight jacket was on. We watched our first video on the channel. Now it was like me at EGX with Asa, like talking to guests. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you so much. And I was like, and even though we did live shows, obviously we couldn't see our face, or we were on Discord. Hi, yeah, how are you doing? Contrast to the way I was speaking. And I remember I went to Nando's, which is a nice chain here, chicken, like peri-peri chicken chain. Beautiful, extra hot, obviously. That's what I take. Asa has lemon and no, Asa has meat. Asa has hot. You have different flavors. I respect it. For a white guy, he handles the spice. But we sat down. I was like, I'm like, man, please let me be raw. He's like, and me, him, and another friend of mine. It's just like, no, the friend who got expelled from school because of me. And just met Asa as well. He was just like, oh, you can't do that, guys. You can't just be raw. You're building a business and all of that. And YouTube wasn't even on the cards really, but I was the one that just pushed for it. And I just had to be raw. Well, ultimately, despite all of that, I just did it anyway. Boom. It's just naturally Asa tried to control me. Couldn't help it. Boom. Source. The Source name just came out of nowhere. Source.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, I was going to ask you how that came at some point in the interview. I was going to ask you what made you,
create the sauce.
Yeah, create the sauce, and obviously you have the logo and everything now, and it's good branding. But I mean, is it so it was based off hot sauce or?
No, it was just sauce. Like we used to always just say the word sauce. If you watch my old Twitter, I created the account years ago. I only started using it a year and a half ago, and in my bio, I didn't know what to write because people write like. I was like, all right, I'm GameOnDaily Conan, Sauce, the Sauce Boss. I just said it, the Sauce Boss, because me and my friends always like stupid things, like just say sauce all the time, like, ooh, that's sauce, and just that's it. So then when my first ever sauce video, I was on the phone with Dealer and Colt. We had just forged this friendship, very fresh. We just instantly got to gel with each other, and I was on the phone and I was like, look, man, Bethesda's games are exclusive to Xbox. Like we said, they should do it. Ran to my friend's studio. That's where I used to film early videos and go live. And whilst I'm just blurting out this video, I'm like, I just made it up on the spot. Like, if you like this video, just write sauce on the chat. That's how I created it. I just literally made it on the spot. Just write sauce. And everyone was like, sauce. I got the first sauce video. Sauce.
Nice.
That I was just like, oh, shoot. My graphic designer, who is incredibly talented, called Jake. I gave him like, I trust him so much. Like, there's a lot of consultation on graphic things, but so talented. I was like, bro, source. He came out with the first iteration of this design. Go for it. That's good. I like it. Boom. That's it. Done. History has been made. I hope.
Yeah. Well, and now it's, I mean, now it's your trademark. It's your, monarchy.
It's my sub brand. Yeah, it's a sub brand. There's like a brand, and there's more on the cards. Trust me, I have so many ideas in my head, so many things I want to learn. I haven't slept. I've slept in the middle of the week, and I've slept 6 hours in 3 days because it's not good. As you can tell from my tweet this morning, I called Sarah Bonnie Ross.
Yeah, I saw that. It was so funny.
Oh my god, I was just like, Bonnie Ross there, and everyone's like, I'm getting loads of tweets. I'm like, oh wow, this thing is. Sometimes you just can't look at the DMs and tweets, and I was like, I'm working. I'm like, and look at the number. I'm like, you said 20 plus 20 again. I'm like, just why is it 20 already? What's happened?
Yeah.
And I didn't even read it. Like, what are you talking about, Gaz? Are you on crack? Are you on drugs? I'm like, what are you talking? oh, shit! I didn't even realize. Oh man, there was a mirror. Everything went wrong this morning, and that happened. I just burst out laughing. And
Let me get Sarah Bonnie. It's right there.
And everyone's like, you got Bonnie Ross on your mind after I made a really spicy take on Bonnie Ross getting axed.
That was a good video.
I mean, stepping down.
Yeah, I thought it was very fair, to be honest with you. I thought it was
video was fair to tone it down. I mean, to be honest, the video is what I think. It wasn't a source video, but people, well, we can talk about that one. I won't take that up. But yeah, so it's just like, there's so many things I want to do. There's so many things that on the card, something very close to being released. We don't spare any expenses in doing what we do, but my drive is to have the best stuff. Like, if I'm not a very jealous person, by the way. I'm never. I just found jealousy weird. Like, if the early inclinations of jealousy in my earlier life, I squeezed out. I found that such a very natural feeling, and everyone feels it. Like 100% of people I meet feel it. But there's something I rooted out. But what I've kind of reshaped that into is, all right, if someone's doing something better than me, I want to do it better. I'm so happy for I'll tell you who motivated me. The guy called The Salt Mines. He made a video exactly how I wanted to make my source videos. Shot it, cinematography, lighting, perfect. Like a movie trailer, making fun of King Thrash. I was like, this guy is so good. I was like to share his video. I was like, oh man, thank you for pushing me before I started to get comfortable. And now I've just been learning, a lot of principles in cinematography and lighting and time though, bro. I have so many freaking I'm going to turn off my work emails, by the way, because I can hear it as I'm talking to you. And it's freaking 9 p.m. and my client still messaged me.
Oh, wow.
But work, if I could do this full time, it's just the dream. It's the dream. Right. I would deliver so much dang content. I'll be breathing, living. There's so much to learn, and I love it. And I'm just such a
maybe someday you'll get to that point. I mean, that's definitely
God willing, I will get there. Inshallah, I will get there.
I mean, and I guess how can I say this? Do you work for somebody or do you work for yourself now? I mean, were you? I work
for a law firm in London.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So, but I mean, at some point, maybe you could. You could maybe have your few clients and tone yourself down to where it was just kind of what you wanted to deal with, and then maybe you could find the better
ease off and transition into it.
Right.
And then GameOnDaily, look, we have the company accounts are there for everyone to see. We have not spared any expenses. People balk at the how much we've spent on this platform, which is beautiful, but it's nowhere near developmentally on the feature set that we wanted. We wanted GameOnDaily to be an app. The news is coming in, the communities are there, and we'll get there. But it just need the funding, just need the money, and one day we'll just build it up. And I don't want to do GoFundMe and all this shite. I just don't like it. It's like begging to me. For me, it's like, if you want to support us, we'll bring the quality. And I think so far we have brought it, the quality in the space in our videos, in our presentation. But we are biggest critics. We'll YouTube algorithm is brutal, but we'll just keep going, man. We'll keep doing it. When I do it full time, if I'm doing it full time, you people who are like other stuff should be excited.
Oh yes,
because then I have full devotion to this. I can actually maybe even with some sleep. The world's not ready. I just want to do that. I'm getting older, and it's just like, no, please. I just need to be able to do it one day. That's the drive.
Well, you definitely have the drive, which is awesome. And I don't want to keep you up much longer, but I don't want. I have a few more things to talk about before we wrap.
Sorry,
things up.
I'm sorry. I'm not like I'm blessed.
You have nothing to be sorry for. Don't ever say you're sorry, because, dude, this is what I want, is for you to talk and to be comfortable and to talk about things. That's exactly I told you this was going to be, and so far that's exactly what it's been. So
absolutely.
Because I mean, that's the whole thing is that people, when I started this, I wanted to know, I was when the pandemic hit, a long time ago, like 15 years ago, I was a program director for a local rock radio station. And so I was a DJ for like 5 years, and it was fun.
Wow.
So a lot of great, concerts, and I've been to over like 500 concerts in my life, but it doesn't pay as good as you would think, and if you're syndicated like Bob and Tom or somebody like that, then then you're making some good money. But if you're not syndicated, it's sometimes it's minimum wage or just a little above it. And, even as a program director, I wasn't making bank. And then I got a job offer as assistant manager at a GameStop, and it was like, well, I don't know if I want to do that. And then I looked at their money. I was like, this is almost twice as much as what I'm making here. So I left and went there, and I was there for 12 years as a GameStop manager. So it was, and that's kind of how I really got into gaming even more, was, because it kind of afforded me the, like.
What do you do now?
No, right now I work for US Bank.
Oh, wow.
I am
very divergent.
I'm an
DJ
analyst.
to GameStop to
exactly.
US Bank.
Exactly. It's a big jump. But I do love what I do. And plus, too, when the pandemic hit, was kind of where I was getting to. They started like, everybody's got to be work from home. And to me, it was like, hallelujah, because that's what I wanted more than anything, was to be work from home, because it's more comfortable. There's no travel time. There's just so many benefits to work from home. And once, some people, they were like, starting to bring people back to the office. They were like, they did a productivity study that we weren't aware of. And they were like, our team is big, huge, about 500 people on my team. And our productivity was like 15 to 20% above what it was the years that we were in office. So they were like,
crazy.
Keep you from home.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And it's because it's a more fun, relaxed work environment. I used to have to do suit and tie, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Get up every day and be the whole banker thing. I did like banker hours a lot better than I did GameStop hours. It was like Black Friday and stuff, and you're working like a 60-hour.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Even on salary,
it's brutal.
Which brutal. Exactly. Just craziness. But now it's like that's a bank holiday. I'm off. Sweet. I didn't know it was a bank holiday, and I get paid for it. Excellent. So yeah. So I'm digging on that a lot. But when I was at home, I kind of I started the original, I guess, when you kind of like, oh, I kind of want some information, some things to watch or listen to while I was doing some of my work at the house. And it was like, I went to the staples like IGN, and I was like, some of their perspectives, to be honest, I was like, I don't feel that way. And I don't really think you really know what the hell you're talking about. Mm-hmm. To be honest, sorry, nothing against those people. But it was just didn't click with me. And then I kind of ran across, Mr. Boomstick and Dealer and, GameOnDaily and these other shows. And then Colt, when he kind of went off, and I was like, this is awesome. I love this. And then I'm like, so as I was talking to Boom a little bit, and he's like, well, you should come on. Cause I'm like, well, I DJ'd for a while. So I kind of know a little bit about how that kind of thing goes. And I had the equipment because I've had
delivery and everything as well.
Right,
You can
exactly.
tell. Yeah.
Not necessarily that I'm good at it, but I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You are. Yeah.
But
you would not be invited to the show if you weren't good. So
thank you for that. But yeah, so it was kind of, you know, I was like, I wanted to know more about these people, you know, like you kind of hear little bits and pieces, you know, like, you know, when I was listening to Rand's show and he was talking about, you know, there was times when he was, you know, homeless and you know, but he was really big into books and stuff like that. And I was just like, wow, you know, I'd like to know more about it. So I was, you know, blessed.
It's good to know
be able to,
a lot.
Yeah,
people make snap judgments. I'm guilty of that because you only have so much information available to you about a person. But these kind of shows, which I found really interesting, like I didn't know half the stuff that you were talking about Colt and Hargate. That was really interesting. Hargate's got a very interesting history about strict parents. I was like, yeah, same. And I know you went to Harvard, but like how you know, it just every like it's once you get to meet people of all sorts of from everywhere, and that to me is one of the most beautiful things about this space. Like everyone's from everywhere. At our core, we are the same, but our environment, whatever multitude of things fashion us differently, but we are the same. But it's beautiful to see how we turn out and what the journey of people is. And your show more than any does that because you're interviewing the people. So if you want to get to know the content creator, like really get to know them, then you have to watch Outbreak podcast because then you know.
Well, I appreciate that.
This show is slanted at that. Of course, it's a brilliant idea. It's a brilliant idea.
You. And you know, there's more and more people I want to try and interview, and I don't want it to limit it. You know, like I mean, obviously I enjoyed interviewing like Colt and Dealer and yourself, but there are people out there that either don't have their own channel or just, you know, a couple hundred views, but they make guest appearances on the shows. So I've seen them.
Yeah.
So I put an invite out to them like, hey, let's talk. And I've had them on show. They've been just as good an interview as somebody who has got 150,000 subscribers, you know, because it's
the thing. Hoggy had no subs. But when I was on a party chat with him, like, this guy's smart. He can't talk. People think like we got him because he's so generous with the super chats. But how does that make sense?
Right.
If we have him on our show, those super chats aren't coming to us because he's on the show. It's nothing to do with money. He's like bless him. He's very generous, one of the most generous people in the world. But it's his brain. More important than that is his personality and his heart. That's who I gravitate towards. People who have got a big heart, who I think are good at heart. And I made that mistake in this space on people I invited on our show or who make it look like that. But sometimes you're a piece of shit. That's a bit harsh. It's a bit harsh. But yeah, you know,
that's what Gaz keeps testing me right here. He's like, Dave, you piece of shit. Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No, man, dude. Obviously, this has been great talking to you. I got a couple of quick more questions, and then we'll kind of wrap things up because I know you do actually have to sleep sometime tonight.
No, bro, I'm not going to sleep for another 5 hours, so you have loads of time. Don't feel pressured.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. Well, let's kind of I guess let's get to, you know, we talked a lot about your site and everything, but I mean, how did you I mean, well, I guess we kind of talked about that too, but let's talk about your brand that you have now. And then, you know, you talked about the possibility of you wanting to grow it further. Is it something that you would like try and turn into, like, I guess off of a different platform? Could it ever be like leave YouTube and go to like a television channel, or is that something that's a possibility? You know, could be like
I could do that. I could make it a channel. I could make a channel with the gaming is so diverse. There's so much content you can have it 24/7. I've thought about it. YouTube is just a platform that has a monopoly in the space on the kind of video content, and that's dangerous.
Right.
I was speaking to ACG in the background, and he's had these monetization problems with YouTube. No real recourse. There's people's livelihoods are at stake here. Yeah, you can't take them to court. There's no like employment court or anything with YouTube. Right. You're essentially licensing out their content out, or you're using their platform, and then there's a big problem there. There's problem monopolies like that. But to expand beyond that, I could direct, and if I had unlimited, sizable resources financially, I could do it. I'm confident I could do it. I could deliver 24/7.
I think it would be a successful venture if you ever got to that point. And
if there was investors out there. Sometimes some of my clients are very wealthy. I'm and connected, and I talk to them at GameOnDaily. They see my stuff. Like, people are like, with your clients? And my clients, no. Clients don't pay me. Like, if I'm goofing off on camera, they'll laugh. They're like, what? But when it comes to the deal, I'm a Rottweiler. I will fight my
I believe. I believe you're like a pit bull. Like, but I mean, that's what you do. You fight for your clients.
My latest job, I was like in the office, and the second day, I was on the phone, and there was an open plan office, and people barely knew me. It was really quiet at the time. I think I changed the culture there a little bit, and I was just like on the phone with them, and I'm like, and then people are listening in as well, because you're new here. There's this a new guy. How's he doing? And can we swear on the show?
Yes, anything you want.
Okay, I'll keep it within reason. But
go right ahead.
I was just on the phone, and I'm talking to an agent. I'm like, oh, right, okay. All right. How about this? How about next time, take my client out to dinner before you fuck him? And drop dead silence. Yeah? Yeah, okay, bye. And close the phone. And then my boss, my immediate head of department, turns around and goes, Gaz, is everything all right? I was like, what? Oh, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You're like, yeah, but that's the language there was a bit raw. Like, I was an agent, man. Don't worry about it. Those guys are taking the piss out of my client. This is what they wanted to do. Whatever, XXX.
Right.
They're taking the piss out of it. All right. And then the client called. This is a very wealthy client, and one of our new clients. And they're like, so you can tell, and the team's like, fuck, who's this guy that we've just invited, got a job, obviously probation period as well. So like, fucking get him out. The client called, and he wanted to speak to my boss. And I wasn't worried, because I actually had loads of job offers at the time anyway. I'm like, I could go somewhere else. But I didn't even think that they're going to axe me. What happened is exactly what I thought would happen. The client called my head of department. He was right behind me. And I could like, hi. And the client goes, I don't want anyone but him to work on my case. I'm like, thank you. The client I knew wasn't a fucking idiot. Yeah. Yes, I'll fight your corner. And that's the kind of personality I'm at work. Like, they get passionate about the client's case. Often it's a struggle to balance. I'm not the best employee. I'm not the best lawyer in my field. If I really was driven, I would deliver much faster. But I'm trying to juggle so many things in life and GameOnDaily and all of that. But the mentality is just a bit like, what you see on Source is nothing compared to what my work is. I'm raw. My personality is raw. My clients for work all know it. And it's the real world is different. And that's why I fucking find the internet discourse on things and like, be nice. Or when Paris, I don't hate Paris. I think he's a nice guy. But I hate the shilling. We can do better. If he was in front of me, I'd be like, well, I can't wait to meet him. Genuinely can't. Not in a bad way.
Right.
I can't wait to meet him. And I'll be like, yo, Paris, man, stop fucking doing that, man. It's like telling everyone what to do, which is ironic because I'm telling him not to do anything. I'm just saying, I hate this. That looks shilling. But I know Paris isn't a full-on shill because he comes and watches our show. He does talk quite freely. But some things I just hate. It's just a personal thing. It's just like, stop controlling people. There's people in the space like, stop critiquing 343. I want to mention this person and really want to, because I don't like what they do. I really don't like. I think they are dangerous in this space for multitude of reasons. If you think I'm dangerous or I have venom or the bad concept, because Parasite came at me to stop it, don't do it. The moment he did that, his bald head was fucking on my target. I was gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna put you in a Source video, and there's so much room there to murk him. But I think he's a lovely person. Colt tells me he's actually a really nice guy. He's met other people in the space that are dickheads or really think above themselves. Paris is a really nice guy. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't know. If you wear a heart on the sleeve, it's easier to read people. But
I mean,
I don't even know what your original question was, Dave. I have no fucking clue what the original question. What was the question?
I don't know, man. We're just going with it, dude. That's the way we just we go with where it takes us. That's the best way to do an interview. That's what I learned day one.
Yeah, it's going to be more entertaining to watch than if anyone's remotely interested in us, they will, I'm sure, appreciate it. At least it's free discourse. You don't get like, oh yeah, I was really good in this space and I did. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, well, and you were talking about Paris Lilly, and
he's a nice guy. I don't hold anything against him.
I know. But my take on him, and that he would, and I do think he's good at what he does, and I think he's but he has. There's Paris Lilly is to him. It's the brand. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And because of how he's able to brand himself, that he's done things with Microsoft several times now, and he comes across. I mean, he's very intelligent. He's very articulate, and he is, and he seems genuine in what he's talking about. Now, whether, like you said, everybody always has their own opinions and their own things that they sometimes keep to themselves. That's human nature, dude. That's just the way it is. But yet, I mean, I get where he's coming from, but for him to try and put that on you, maybe he likes you, so maybe his thinking to say maybe you shouldn't say that is because he wants to see you around and not ridiculed and that kind of. Does that make sense?
I don't think he cares about me to safeguard my position, but he plays a brand as well. But I know if I met him, he'd be nice, and he'd be the kind of person capacity to look out for me if he cared about me.
Yeah,
there's some people in this space that are good. Yeah. There's some that I've invited on my show and have done things that I would never do. I'm fuck it. I don't never mention it. Bad bit. He's Trophy Room. Got him on my show, and this dickhead. And I can clip it, send it to him. If I ever see him at E3, if you're watching this, if I ever see you E3, you dare say hi to me. Don't even say hi to me, because that's one person I will slap across the face. The reason why is we invited him on our show multiple times.
Yeah, people
didn't like him. People saying bad things about him in the comments. We would either hide the comments or we don't like deleting comments, but still tolerate. Like, look, still invited him on our show. Like, look, he's a PlayStation content creator. It's not nice what they're saying. He wasn't a good guest. In I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm not just saying that because in the background we were like, he just interrupted us and everything. But we let everyone, and he was a bit aware of it at the time.
Right.
But when COVID happened, we came out of lockdown in the UK. And I went to a rave. I said, dodging COVID, me at a rave, public rave, like in the wide open space.
Yeah.
A guy who talked in the background and messaged multiple times. He didn't DM me. He quote tweeted me and goes, "This is so insensitive. This is disgusting. My dad is suspected of getting COVID. And this is so insensitive." I'm like, what? Wait, first of all, it's illegal. I'm legal to rent. Dude, COVID is the real thing. I'm just saying I'm trying to dodge COVID because I'm in a sea of people. I'm obviously nervous because I've not got COVID. And we're finally out of it. So half an hour later, he goes, "Oh, but good news. My dad's not got COVID. Thank you for the love and support." I was like, bruv, if it bothered you so much, wouldn't you have the decency to reach out to me and DMs? Why would you do that?
Right.
Before that, few weeks before that, it's like, "Oh, who's your thumbnails? They're really good, man." I linked it, to this guy, and it's jealousy. No matter what he wants to say, the quality and stuff, he's jealousy. But what does that say about you as a person that you do that? Right. You're a piece of shit human being. And his friends followed suit in his little circle, the trifecta. And they've done that, liking posts that have been attacking me or critiquing me in the background. Very recently, talking about me publicly, but not mentioning me. If you have the balls, say it.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of person, I'm very nice. I'm very nice. But if you do that kind of shit to me, I will fucking beat the shit out of you if I see you in person. And I'm still vexed about that.
Sure.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? So if he sees me at E3, he better walk away. Even dare say hi, baby. After doing all of that, you'll get fucking slapped.
Yeah.
You'll get slapped.
I get where you're coming from. It's if he had probably had if he had said the same thing, but he had said it to you directly and not made it public without even going.
I apologized immediately as well, because thinking it's like, oh shit. Obviously, in a rave, things happen.
Right.
You can guess what that means. But I don't know. I was like, wait, what? Why? Why did you do that? People are messaging me like, why did you do that? I'm like, I don't. Wait, why am I guilty for going out?
Yeah. Right.
So yeah. Right. So I'm tired of like, and this is the first time I'm saying it publicly. Well, I have kind of alluded to it, but I'm like, why? Right. Why? I have mutual friends who is friends with him, and I'm like, yeah, it's just like, you're a dick. Well, fuck. That guy will virtue signal, and that's the word I used purposely,
right?
And to elevate himself, he will do. That means he will do whatever it takes to elevate himself. He's not even that good a content creator. You might shout at my brand of shouty content, but what's so profound in what you say? You're just boring, and his friends are boring, and then the lack of traction they get is blamed at me. You direct because you're boring. You're fucking boring, and you're a dickhead of a person.
You are definitely not boring.
I'm not, but obviously sometimes the seriousness of a message or the value of it can be diluted, and that's why I'm going to give a range of content and interviews and the kind of content. I mean, you talked about diversity of content.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have time for dickheads like that. You're a dickhead. I know people like that. I've met snaky people like that all my life. That's one of them, and it's maybe not appropriate for me to air it while he's not here.
Well, it's okay. That's all right. I mean, to be honest, we've actually interviewed him before. So,
okay,
and he's
sorry.
actually, no, dude, you have, hey, look, there's nothing to be sorry for. And this isn't a, but I mean, you speak your mind, and you've obviously, it's something that's bottled up, and it's something that you wanted to get off your chest, and that's fine. And I have a feeling that at some point, if he watches this episode, which he may or may not, then he'll hopefully reach out to you, and then you guys can have some kind of discussion behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And that's
unless he publicly apologizes and says, "I was a dickhead for doing this. I apologize."
Yeah,
I have nothing to say to him.
Yeah,
until he does that.
Yeah, fair enough.
If he doesn't do that, just avoid me at E3 because I will beat the shit out of him. I'll try not to.
Go on ninja on him. That's funny. Now, talking about, I guess, like the exact opposite of that is Colt Eastwood, who you another show with. So how did that come about? I mean,
that friendship just pretty good. Blossomed. Out of RDX, we were doing it, and the friendship just blossomed like in that community. Dealer's like the glue. He's like the dad of the group. He's really nice, but he's just so antisocial, and it's just like he's such a nice guy. He really does care. And then Colt's extra. Well, he's got ADHD. He's extroverted like me, and whatever. We just kind of hit it. We hit the RDX show together, and we started talking. And we same kind of humor. We message each other every day. He's messaging me right now on WhatsApp, and it's one of the he gets a lot of haters as well, which is so funny. But I find it funny. I'm like, that's why drop the be nice. Just drop it. Because he is genuine. And a lot of the branding, the way he comes out wrong. But all of that is changing. But he's nice. Such a nice guy. He's one of my best friends. And him and his family, they're lovely. They're just beautiful people, man. He's a really nice guy. Just like you've seen it on Twitter, when someone attacks him, I kind of get a little bit defensive on his behalf. Yeah. Although at the same time, I'm like, shut the fuck, what are you doing, Cole? What kind of shit tweet is that? Although I can't talk today, I called Bonnie Ross Sarah Bond, or vice versa. I don't know what it was. So we just had a natural relationship, and then we would, and then it just like XMC started off, and I told him, look, by the way, it's going to be an absolute ball ache finding guests on the show every week and keeping it fresh and tying it with a topic. Obviously, he had some contacts. He went really hard. He had Paris. He had Jeff Grubb. He had all these bigger personalities in the space like early on, and then he had to kind of got learning like a bit of a reality check on the kind of guests that would be available or would be reliable or available, and whatever.
Right. 52 weeks in a year. It's a long.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's every week. It's a pressure, and I'm still trying to figure out things right now. And for my Saturday show, and Colt was like, "Bram, how good it would be just me and you?" Because obviously I've been on a show with Asa, and then it was just me with someone else. We did interview the IGN guy. He was really nice. Forgot his name. He reviews more races. Brilliant guy. Really nice. Changed my view on a lot of things about IGN. And then Destin. And Destin's lovely as well. He's a really nice guy. Destin Loge gets it a lot, but he's actually a really chilled person to talk to as well in the background. Right. And then he's just like, you know what, screw it. But he was really nervous to ask.
Yeah.
Because of the timing. It's like, timing is a murkage. I'm not going to lie. It's freaking 1 a.m. on a Monday, and I'll go to work the next day. So I sleep for 3 hours, boom, brain hard.
But you're young, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not as young. How old do you think I am?
I'd say you're in your early 30s.
No, I'm mid to late 30s. I'm 37. Turned 37 last month.
Not bad. How do you think I am?
I saw your show with Huggy, so
okay. So
I'd be lying.
I'm 57. I'm an old guy.
Wait, what? 57? I was going to say 43. Oh,
I'm 57.
Shit. I didn't listen carefully.
That's all right.
Bro, you
I'm 8 years from retiring, buddy.
Bro, you do not look it. You got baby face.
I do. That's why I grew this, because there's a lot of people would, I've had this for years just because of that.
What, the beard? I have
the baby face.
The white beard?
Yeah. No. Because it would, people would, people really.
If you shaved, you would look mid-30s. That's crazy. I can't believe that. Yeah. 57. What? I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you. Well, I'm too fat, but I still gotta lose 100 pounds.
Me too, bro. If I hide it well, I hide it well. But I'm going on holiday in 2 months. I'm on a regime right now. But
nice,
bro, you look so young. That's insane.
Well, thanks, man.
That gives me hope. That gives me hope. Like, if I,
well, like I said, you look young
if
to
I'm
me.
older,
yeah. If
I'm older like you and have your energy, I'm loving life.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, I don't see you losing your energy. I think you're, dude. Like I said, you are wicked.
Oh my god, bro! Well done,
it really threw you off, huh? Yeah.
It did. You don't look it. How many? You get that a lot, I'm sure. But yeah, it's fucking crazy.
A little bit. The older I get, the more and more it's like, ooh, you're starting to get old. I see. Yeah, I'm starting to get.
Don't look at it. You're as old as you feel, because I don't behave. You got a lot more hair than you. A lot of people in this space.
Oh my gosh, I'm bald. What are you talking about?
No, you're not, bro. Trust me. There's a lot more people in this space. Oh shit, that's throwing me off, man.
Well, no, but like I said, when I bought the Atari, my dad went and bought it the day it came out. If that lets you know anything, So
yeah. Oh man,
8 or 9.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So well, your dad did. At least you didn't buy it, because I bought it the day it came out. I'm like, all right, you're really old.
Yeah. But I saw Star Wars day 1 in theaters. That's how old I am. Yeah. That's my dad.
No, do you feel?
Go ahead.
Because I feel like this, and I'm a little bit younger than you. Do you feel that the new generation is missing out on a really beautiful time?
Yes.
I feel like they missed out. Early gaming, you will never have that magic. They might like their Fortnites and whatnot, but it will never be the same. Like, it was beautiful in the 90s.
Yeah,
just won't be the same. I feel for them. They will never know. They will never know what they missed out on. They will never feel it. But do you feel like you must like that? That was the time. There was this nice filter and everything. It was beautiful.
Yeah. I was in high school. It was the 80s, or anything up in high school. Yeah.
Lucky.
So it was
80s.
like,
in America as well, that would have been amazing.
It was some crazy stuff. It was some crazy hair. Dude, if I'll send you a picture sometime just so you can get
please do. Crazy hair.
I had hair down below my ass. I could reach around and grab it. It was so long. I'm telling you, man. I used to. Well, you see the drums back here.
I'm trying to imagine now. It looks so funny.
I'll send you that. It's actually my Facebook, but I'll send it to you. You will be
send
like,
it to me. Send it to me.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Oh goodness, man, dude, I could do this all day. This is awesome.
Same, man. Don't feel like I could do it for ages.
Like, awesome. Well, let me as we're kind of starting to wrap things up just a little bit. Let me get your opinion on a couple of things. And if you don't. You go as just as deep as you want to go, because I don't want to work your lawyer brain too much. But as far as the most recent revelations in the ABK deal.
Oh yeah.
Do you think? I'm still thinking that even though Microsoft has, this isn't their first rodeo, so they've planned. They know what to expect and how bad things, quote unquote, can get as far as the mudslinging and the the resistance. Although I don't really think they have too much of a case. I think it's possibly, in my opinion, which I'm not a lawyer at all, but that it could actually get done this year or
impossible
early this year or early next year. Impossible.
Early next year, fine.
Okay.
Not happening this year.
Okay.
I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked. I'll be very shocked. Pleasantly surprised.
Right.
If it happens. I'll be obviously pleasantly surprised that the deal goes through. But did you see what happened recently?
Yes.
Sony's giving Microsoft control to Activision games like Call of Duty has major negative implications for them, not for the industry. So they can go piss off with that bullshit logic. And I don't have any sympathy for this mighty PlayStation that's for the players, that has crafted the best experience in gaming, crying and trying to curtail a multi-platform deal for going through with opponents that spent 70 billion, whilst you have simultaneously, and for the same game that is coming out, that's being marketed out of all days today, has exclusive content being advertised, your money hatted, your legacy speaks volumes. Do not give us this bullshit. Do better. That's my attitude. Bungie, I pray they're exclusive to PlayStation. I was disappointed that's multi-platform because I want competition. Bungie being multi-platform serves no one. The Xbox gamers are, well, at least I can play. No. Just like Call of Duty exclusive to Xbox would be amazing because it'd give real pressure for Sony to not resting on their laurels and relying on a third-party game. Bungie being exclusive to PlayStation would be incredible. Finally, the creators of Halo could potentially make a Halo killer on PlayStation exclusively.
Wow. Yeah.
Amazing. I hate it that Bungie's exclusive, independent and multi-platform. I hate it. I actually do.
Right.
But that's the emotive side of it. In terms of whether it'll go through, it will go through.
Right.
It will go through. Apparently, Wall Street's betting against it. It will go through. I'll be shocked that Microsoft's legal team, because as a lawyer, and I'm not in mergers and acquisitions. If you want an M&A expert, listen to Hogue Law.
Yeah,
but
he's good.
And a lot of it's not even like a legal exercise. I mean, you can go through strictures of law, but the assessment on whether or not it's anti-compete and the regulators that are involved and their job, it's a political exercise in many ways because you make that assessment. But even if you bore down to the details, you can't it's the sheer value of it. But Call of Duty isn't the force that the way the FTC and the CMA are angling and Sony are angling it.
Right.
It's not. It will have ramifications. Yes, absolutely, pulling away a big chunk of revenue. But being market leader for how long? Fix up, do better. And Microsoft's legal team can mobilize to tackle every single argument. Yeah, there are challenges like the angling of cloud and leveraging that and using financial might to potentially just sideline competitors, Sony, but they're not even really trying. So there's an easy argument to weave there. But the counter to that is, well, who are the competitors? Really, the realistic competitors are Google, Amazon. And I'll tell you now, and you'll hear it first, this isn't Sony are critically as a company, because they rely so much on PlayStation, they could be bought out one day. And they could be bought out by Google. Then what? That'd be amazing. We will let Sony retain their independence. PlayStation to retain their independence. Now backed by Google. The balance has been redressed. Boom! Then you can see them buy all sorts. You think they would give a shit about $70 billion deals? It could happen. I mean, it sounds very far-fetched, but, you know, Sony...
I can see it. Or Apple.
Be bought up. Apple, Amazon, Google. These guys buy Sony, because Sony's not that much. Well, that much. They can buy Sony and let them retain independence. Still PlayStation.
Yeah.
Now, it could happen. You might get heard it here first. It could happen.
Yeah, no, I can see exactly what you're talking about. It makes...
Augie mentions it to Colt, by the way. I'm not taking his... And Colt just talked to me. But hey, I was talking to Colt. He said that. And I was like, shit, Huggy's right.
Yeah.
So Huggy, who's part of GameOnDaily. Yeah,
There
same
you go.
team, yeah. Don't get mad. Don't get mad.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
props to
wouldn't.
him.
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
You probably
He
appreciate the
wouldn't. I've
props.
given him the props. So
Yep, there you
there's nothing
go.
to be mad about.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's and I'm right there with you. I don't think there's anything that can stop it in the long run. And if it did run into some obstacles that right now that we're really not aware of, Microsoft has the option to sue. They can, and they've got a lot of money to take it to court if they really wanted to. Do you not agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
if it does, I want to see a complete change in attitude from the management on how they approach this industry and their competitors in this space who have been unrelenting in the manner in which they deal with business. That's business.
Yes.
I'm not accusing them of being whatever predatory or whatever. They can be. We talk about the ethics of it. Business is business, though. So Microsoft, if they do that, or if crazily this deal falls through, I want to see mad, fiery determination to make your competitors pay. It'll be amazing to watch as an bystander.
Yeah.
But as a consumer, it will be very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Talk about game on, huh?
Yeah, game on fully. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there popcorn for days. Community will tear itself to shreds. And I'll just love it. All the blood, sweat, and tears. So many tears. If the deal falls through, how many Xbots will cry? I will be there. I'll be like, what the fuck? They failed. But big part of me will enjoy the fireworks. That's what it is. That's what I'm like. I love this shit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm right there with you, man. The journey is as good as the end result sometimes. Getting us there is like, because I mean it's been the topic for a lot of different sites and a lot of different podcasts and and magazines and articles, and there's definitely the topic right now is this acquisition.
Biggest deal in gaming ever. The biggest money Microsoft has paid ever. It's big deal for a reason.
Yeah,
it'll shock the industry. I wish it was exclusive to Xbox. The shock would be felt rawly.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Well, and it was, as they say, we'll see what happens in the future, and
we'll be there.
Exactly.
God willing, we'll be there.
And I'll be watching you and everything you cover on it. I'll tell you that right now.
Likewise, bro.
Awesome. Well, let me get to one final question, and this is hopefully pretty easy, but it's I guess so. What game? This is back to gaming. Can you believe that gaming channel? Just kidding. But
we've been talking about gaming.
We have. I'm just messing. But what is the
slapping
game?
People in my E3 kind of gaming.
What is the game that you are most looking forward to? One that's already been announced. So if you have any privileged information, but something that has already been announced that's not out yet, it's coming. What is the game that you are looking forward to the most? And it can be multiples. Sometimes people have given me more than one. That's fine.
Well, this year, God of War, by far. God of War looks amazing. Starfield, I'm very excited for because I love sci-fi. Hard sci-fi, like it's not hard sci-fi, but it is like NASA punk, but they've termed. That's beautiful. I think it would be Starfield. But GTA 6 is going to be the game that changes everything.
Yeah.
People like it's so far away, but Rockstar, they're changing things. That the statement they made, like, we're not going to punch down on this and that. I'm like, fine, but the Rockstar brand has always been tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, that's what made them.
Yeah, that's what made it. That's the identity of GTA. It gives no shits. So if it starts giving shits, what does that mean for the game? Like, narrative-wise, it might suffer, but as long as the game quality doesn't suffer, then yeah. But I don't have faith in 343 delivering, doing Halo justice. I think Halo Infinite. I would have loved to say season 2 of the story of Halo Infinite, but that's not even on the cards. So, that's quite sad, somber thing, really. Yeah, I would say Starfield probably out of everything that's announced. Well, GTA 6, but so far away, it feels weird saying it.
Right.
So I would say Starfield. Yeah. I also want to see what PlayStation's doing beyond. Wolverine might be really interesting. Actually, it will be beautiful, but
yeah.
I think PlayStation is working on some pretty, like, they could be working on SOCOM. They should be if they have any brains. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Smash that like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I just wanted to say that because the message just came in. Smash. You have to remind people. You have to say it. Otherwise, people don't do it.
You're right.
Hit
You're right.
the like button. If you've made it this far, especially if you're bad bit, hit that like button, you piece of shit.
Oh Lord, I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh goodness. And you know what? You definitely, I can say you brought the sauce today. So thank you for that. Oh wait a minute.
Pretty sure your podcast, if people watch it and clip some bits, it's gonna get some attention. Hopefully. Oh, Source logo just appeared out of nowhere.
Exactly. Put it up in the corner.
That's brilliant. It fits there. I've been watching this little light and I've been following it and making like my eyes do this for ages. So I just saw it as it popped up. The source is there. I'm sorry, Dave. Look, you've had me on your show.
Yep.
You've experienced some source. There are negatives to the source as well. You may experience that.
Okay. Well, I know I
comes
got
with the territory.
That's all right. That's all right. I can take it, man. I can take it. I really can, because my defense is that I want everybody that comes on the show to be themselves, and I want them to to obviously sell their brand, because I'm hoping that not only, obviously I'd like to get some more subs. That would be nice. But not only that, but maybe there'll be somebody that watches this that's watched somebody else that they're well, let's watch another one, and they're like, oh, I didn't know about this guy, and then now they will. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's the whole point of this. Because this series is right now
it's really
ongoing.
Good. You ask people about their lives. Maybe I have some more extra questions, personal questions. I don't know what they are. Your first relationship or something like that, but you kind of get to know the people. It's very unique in the space. No one does it.
Yeah,
so people will want to know. Trying to get if you get Alana Pierce, give her my number.
Exactly. Well, to be honest with you, she was one of the people on. I have a list. You were definitely on it. Now I get to mark you off. But Alana was one of the first ones I kind of reached out to when I first started doing this series. About 2 or 3 episodes in, I thought, well, I've got a couple now that I can show them. So I reached out to her, and of course, she has a marketing team who replies to all her emails, and they were super nice. Let me Can
I get that email by any chance?
Yeah, definitely. I'll send it to you. They were super nice, but they I guess they regretfully declined the offer for her to be.
They look at numbers.
Exactly. I'm sure it was A, numbers, and B, it's like who is this guy? What is he going to ask? You know what I mean?
Look, I've been there. I'm still there. Yeah. I'm still there. Like I sent so many emails, and I'm there with you. But we've got on nearly 12,000 subs, which isn't that much in the grand scheme of things, but it's a little bit higher.
Yeah.
We've had Colin Moriarty and David Jaffe and them lot on. That is something I always push out when you have to put your best foot forward, because otherwise people will be like, they have busy people, they're very massively successful. They want to know, they don't know. They, in their opinion, be the waste their time, but they might like you as a person, and you're lovely on it. I'm sure they liked you as a person. They said the interview is really good, but it's a smaller channel, and they're like, oh, I'm busy. Like no one's gonna, That's how people think.
And I have no ill will, and I'm not necessarily done. There's, maybe in a year or so.
But keep pushing, Dave. You have to keep pushing. If you give me the email, I'll try and reach out to her, and I will say, look, you have to do Dave's show. This is the nicest guy in this space, and if she doesn't do it, it is what it is. And I'll be like, I'm just kidding.
oh
man, how dare she? No, but it's like funny. That. It's not about the numbers, man. It's about the people. That's what it is.
Exactly.
And one thing I'll promise you to, if I ever make it to whatever subs, I'll still do. Can't do all of it because I barely sleep. but I will still do everyone's show. If you're not a dick, then I'll definitely do it.
Well,
or if I think you're not a dick.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
No,
And,
you're lovely, man. We've said it for
thanks,
ages. Man. No, I'm saying other people, like if new people, whatever. Of course,
you won't be on 3-Bit Show. Got it. So I'm just kidding.
Unless he apologizes and changes his ways and stops being boring. Yeah.
Sorry, I brought it back. What was I thinking? Sauce! I'm just kidding. I'm throwing some sauce on. But last thing I want to ask you real quick. So your soundboard and your effects that you use a lot. So I mean, yeah. So what are you using first of all?
It's a Go XLR. I'm gonna show you.
Cool. See, we're getting behind the scenes now. This is awesome.
Yeah, that's the Go XLR there.
Oh,
so
nice.
That's my auto-tune. And I think you have different things that I don't even use. That's like Megaphone, which I never use. Sounds like it sounds like Slipknot. I push my fingers in. Auto-tune, you know I use this button like a piece of shit. Whoa, that was weird. I was so confused that you did that. I was so confused because I thought I must have what was that? It sounded just like oh shit. I thought, wait, did I save a preset?
I use the Rodecaster 2, the new one that has
all that's what Afonso has. Yeah.
Exactly. I tell you, that's because the times when you I mean, and it's the timing is almost always perfect. When you have to jump on it and you're screaming and yelling but it is hilarious, absolutely brilliant. I mean,
I love it. I love doing it. I know it's annoying to a lot of people. I just love doing it.
If they don't like it, they don't have to watch. That's all I
love the fact some people get annoyed. They're like, oh, Asa hates it. And that's why I do it so much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your numbers are going up and, your audience is getting bigger and, that's it.
Slowly, slowly, but surely.
Yeah, but you being yourself, man, keep that up, man. Don't ever not being you.
You're a lovely person, man. You keep doing that, the numbers will come. Just got to keep grinding. The grinding is mad, man. The grind is mad. Like 2 days ago, I made a video, didn't even make 100,000 views. We got 12K subs. This just the grind will never stop.
Right.
It's just hard work, Dave. But you just got to keep doing it.
It is.
Ultimately, you've got everything else. You've got the personality. You've got a great show. You've got a great format. That's it. Just enjoy the quality that you're producing. That's all I
appreciate that, man. That means a lot, and I do thank you for that. Well, tell everybody where they can find you real quick. Plus, I'm going to have all the links and descriptions down below, and if you want, I can put your gamer tag in there. Some people do, and some people don't like that. But if you want, I'll put that in the description below. But if you don't, we don't. That's fine. But tell everybody where they can find you, where they can reach out to you on social media.
Twitter, Gazondaily, where I obviously can't tell the difference between Sarah Bond and Bonnie Ross.
You're tired. You were sleepy.
I'm always sleepy, so that's not an excuse. GameOnDaily.com. Please check it out. If you really want to help us out, register there and comment and share that out. It's a news aggregation platform, updated daily. Other people submit stuff. You can submit your own content, your own podcasts, your own YouTube videos, your own articles can be created on the site, creating a hub for you for your curated news. Mm-hmm. So please check that out. And YouTube channel is GameOnDaily, one word.
Yeah, and it's awesome, dude. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And thanks to everybody who's watching us today here at Outbreak Gamers. At outbreakpodcast.com is our website. You'll get links to all our episodes and shows there, plus all the other things that we do. We do a few other things as well too, but this is what I'm having the most fun with right now. So There we go. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching us here at Outbreak Gamers. Thank you, Gaz. You're the man.
Game over.